Sexyy Red had an eventful weekend. Prior to her hosting NXT Battleground on Sunday, she was arrested for disorderly conduct at Newark Liberty International Airport early Saturday morning. Security footage appears to show Sexyy Red involved in a large brawl at the airport, although it is not clear what led to the dispute. TMZ reports that Sexyy Red is the person wearing the orange hat waving around a sanctioned post in the video. However, Sexyy Red posted that that wasn't her to social media shortly after the video was made public. Police reportedly arrested Sexyy Red and a few others on disorderly conduct charges, while other participants were charged with assault. Some participants were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The incident didn't prevent Sexyy Red from appearing at NXT Battleground at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas on Sunday. She hosted the event and appeared in several backstage segments throughout the show. On to our next story. Ricochet was seemingly ridden out of WWE television following an angle that took place on Raw. After Ricochet saved Ilya Dragunov from a post-match attack from Braun Breaker on Raw, the two were backstage when Braun Breaker speared Dragunov again. Ricochet attacked Breaker as the two brawled around the production area. Braun then cut off Ricochet and lawn darted him into a nearby production truck. Braun Breaker then followed it up by slamming Ricochet into a car windshield as backstage personnel broke up the fight. Following a commercial break, Ricochet was loaded into an ambulance with fiancée Samantha Irving entering the ambulance with him. The assault on Ricochet comes as Dave Meltzer reported in today's Daily Update that Monday was expected to be his final night with the company and may be headed to AEW. Some other news coming out of Raw. This week's QR code on WWE Raw has a countdown clock. During Rey Mysterio's entrance on Monday, another QR code flashed again, quickly showing the message, "Your patience will be rewarded, your impatience will be punished." Scanning the QR code leads to a website with a countdown clock which ends on June 17th, the day of next week's Raw in Corpus Christi, Texas. The message on the website reads, "You refuse salvation, the reckoning is inevitable," with reckoning highlighted in red. A PW Insider report back in May said that the QR codes will eventually reveal a new stable in WWE. Additionally, qualifying matches for the 2024 Money in the Bank ladder matches will begin on next week's Raw. No participants have been officially announced for the qualifying bout, but both Jey Uso and Sheamus have stated their intent to qualify in promo segments on the last two Raw shows. This year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view is part of a triple-header weekend for WWE in Toronto from July 5th through the 7th, with SmackDown on July 5th, Money in the Bank on Saturday, July 6th, and NXT Heatwave on Sunday, July 7th. All three events will be held at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. And speaking of NXT, I had the opportunity to chat with Jordynne Grace about her experience on NXT Battleground. Check out what she had to say about the possible collaboration between NXT and TNA. You came out wearing the NXT on the insignia on your back. I mean, what can you tell us? What do you hope for in terms of there possibly being more of a collaboration between the both promotions?
I hope it's going to continue on. I hope, like, obviously if you do it too much, it's going to not be special anymore. But I do think that there's things you can do. Like, can you imagine Josh Alexander wrestling Chad Gable? Like, that'd be special. Or even my husband, Jonathan Gresham, wrestling Chad Gable. It'd be amazing. And you have, like, the Rascals reuniting with Dez. I feel like there's so much that can be done. And I think that all that is just super exciting for fans, and it's good for wrestling in general. And ultimately, I'm obsessed with the idea of a Worlds Collide pay-per-view. Like, that is the apex to me. That's like the ultimate thing, like a yearly pay-per-view where that happens and all the matches that fans dream about can finally come to fruition. Like, that's like, my pie in the sky dream.
Prior to speaking with Jordynne Grace, I also spoke to Roxanne Perez and got her thoughts and experience regarding Jordynne Grace being her surprise opponent.
Oh my god, it's been really cool. It's been really cool, not just for women's wrestling, but just wrestling in general. Obviously, yes, for women's wrestling, because you would have never thought that this would happen like just a few years ago. So now that I get to be a part of it and be able to be a part of history-making stuff and to be able to finally step in the ring with Jordynne Grace, like she's honestly, she's amazing. She's impressive. She's a freak athlete. So I'm excited to get in the ring with her and prove to her why they call me the Prodigy.
That visual of both of you guys just like standing across from each other, I was literally like, oh shit, like I could not believe it. And so I wanted to ask you about it because I know that Jordynne did an interview with Busted Open, and on there she had said that you had no idea it was going to be her. So you found out in the moment. Talk to us about what those weeks leading up to this moment was and what the moment was like when you saw Jordynne come out.
Yeah, I had no idea it was going to be Jordynne. So the weeks leading up to it, I was pretty excited to see who am I going to face, who was going to be the person that was going to step inside that ring with me, and it ended up being Jordynne Grace. I did not. That's not even one of the names that like crossed my mind because she is with TNA. So like I said, it's like so cool that we get to make this history and yeah, like just be a part of like some groundbreaking stuff. I'm so excited for it.
When you saw her come out, what was like the first thought that popped into your head?
Literally like, oh shit. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss.
No, yeah, you definitely are.
I was just like, what is going on right now? But I was ready. I was ready for Jordynne Grace to come out there and to put myself up to the test against her.
Additionally, at the pay-per-view, we saw Kelani Jordan become the first ever women's North American champion. She defeated Soruka Michin, Lash legend Jada Parker, and Fallon Henley in a ladder match that opened the show. The finish of the match had Jordan give Michin a split-legged moonsault on a ladder, then climbed on another ladder to grab the North American title, becoming the first ever champion. That's a wrap for this episode of The Latest. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to click that subscribe button.